Hi everybody, this is me Ashmeeta, and today we're here with a very special guest, Shilpa M. Menon. I'm just waiting for her to join in and then we can start. Hello everyone who's joining in. Okay, so Shilpa is here. Shilpa, could you please send me a request so that I can add you? Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Okay, can you rotate your phone or should I rotate
Okay,
mine?
that's, I think if you can, it'll be amazing because I will all, oh, super. Thank you.
Great.
But I think this is just frozen. The screen has frozen, hasn't it?
Um, Okay, my screen is fine. I see that your screen is fine. Um, is it
Over here, it's frozen completely. Should I try again?
okay, go ahead. Try again.
Yes.
Okay, guys, just adjusting. Give us a few minutes and we'll be starting with our session. This session is all about angels and higher dimensional beings. If you're interested in knowing about them and their existence, this is the perfect session for you. It's also about how can angel assist us, how can they support us on our journey. Okay, let's see now. So if you have any questions, we have a very special guest joining in. Hi, Shilpa. Is everything fine now?
Yes, it looks fine. Thank God for that.
Okay, great. So Shilpa is a very wonderful life transformation and spiritual coach. She's an angel intuitive. She's the author of the book Living with Angels, which is right behind her. You can see. Yes, and the co-author of the book, The Coach Wisdom, she's one of my coaches, and I love to reach out to her. She's one of my mentors, and I mean, I recently met her, but the impact has been so amazing working with her. I'm so glad I met you today. Um, and thank you for being here. So today we're talking about angels. We're talking about higher dimensional beings, and I think you are one of the experts at that. Right? You've written an entire book which is about 52 weeks of living with angels. So before we started this, I also asked a lot of people to send in their questions, so we have some of their questions as well. But let's start with your journey. How did you discover about the existence of angels in your life? And where did your journey start from?
Wow, interesting. So, wow, first of all, thank you so much for having me aboard and wanting to have these amazing conversations around angels. And of course, I really believe that the times we are in, if we
Hmm.
can spread more and more love and light, nothing like it. So it's a wonderful platform, and thank you so much, Ashmita, for having me. Seriously, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Right. Um, so I'm just thinking, where do I begin from? Um, Consciously, um, my journey started a decade plus ago, maybe about 12, 13 years now, uh, where I was going through this entire transition in my life. And I was seeking certain answers, and I I wanted to understand the purpose of my life, the meaning of the certain situations, and the patterns I was going through. And that is when I actually started to. I had an amazing, miraculous experience because I've been a little left brain person until then. I was a corporate trainer, a facilitator prior to that. So there was always about practicality and modules and data points. From there, the switch towards becoming I wouldn't say becoming an intuitive, but starting the journey with complete awareness. It was more like an awakening or a shift moment in my life where I stumbled. At this point, I will use the word stumbled upon angels, but much later I realized that I was experiencing them for quite some time. But this was more of a in the face moment. If I go way back, I've been an intuit ever since I was really young. And dreams have been a part of my consistent journey since I was young. So I had these what we call as imaginary friends and fantasy friends we have conversations with, and things do move in with me. Um, and I had some another, I think as we go deeper into conversation, I'll probably go back to this childhood experience, which had set in my mind in my life that made me start to believe that magic, miracles, and there is a life beyond just this three-dimensional world that we live in, right?
Hmm.
And that is where my subtle search started. Then I went to being completely left-brained, saying God doesn't exist, and all of this is not for me, to a spiritual awakening. So I had an entire curve of a journey. But
Hmm.
to dive directly into my first ever conscious angelic experience, I have mentioned it in my book as well. I had just learned driving, and I was driving on Mumbai roads in the midnight with my friends, where we decided to go for a midnight snack. And suddenly, when I was coming back, we realized that we were on a service road, and there was this huge boulder right in front of us. In the, and I was driving at 60 kmph. Now you really can't slow down. And Bombay, to get free roads in the night itself is a delight. So
Hmm.
we're nicely speeding and having a good time. And suddenly, all I could do was move my car over the boulder. I had no other option. I'd just learned driving, so I didn't know a lot of things that I could maneuver. I was like, all I can do is I started chanting. I started chanting name of a master who I truly believe in, who's got me in this entire journey of spirituality. Um, so I started chanting, but of course, when you're really young, there's this bravado on your face. Oh, nothing is going to go wrong, and the last thing you're going to talk about is God and angels that time. So I just had to show everybody, don't worry, everything's under control. But in the deepest of my heart, I was extremely anxious, extremely nervous and scared because there were lives around me and there was this huge responsibility, that if something happens to them, what am I going to do? So I started chanting. I dropped them off. We called a few of our friends. So as we moved the car ahead, there was a huge dent in the car. The chassis was bent. Okay. It
Hmm.
was a low ground clearance car. So there were a lot of challenges with the car as well. And we could see the dents, and there was certain leakage in certain places, and there was a hazard symbol. Um, we called some of our friends, but there was no one to help us out. So I dropped them off and I started to journey back home. And this was another time where I was alone. And in India, especially, we are so used to talking about angels and demons and ghosts when we are young. And so even whether you believe it or not, but these are the moments where a certain set of fear starts grappling with one person. And this was dark night for me. So for me, for sure, it was I was like, oh my God, now I'm going to encounter some ghost on the way. And I really don't know what is going to happen to me. I was really scared and scared to next level. So I started chanting religiously saying, save me, save me, save me. And suddenly, as I was driving past the road, I felt a presence next to me in the co-driver's seat from the corner of my eye. And I was like, um, what is this happening to me? And the first thought I had, I'm sure you know that in India, you grow up with a lot of Bollywood movies. And especially when you're dying, you see God and your entire life flashes before you. This is the kind of stories we grew up with. At least I did. So I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing a master or a saint next to me. I am for sure dying right now. This car is going to blast and I am done. Because an average human being cannot experience masters and angels. That is for a special category of people, which was my belief system until that particular day, of course. And so, on the corner of my eye, I see my master whom I'm chanting, and I'm like, okay, you are here, but I'm really scared. I'm not supposed to experience you. And then from the rear view mirror, yeah, I can see how you're breathing out right now. It is a little overwhelming moment.
Goosebumps. Yeah,
Yes.
very totally goosebumps.
And I was like, no, you're not supposed to be here. Go, I'm scared. I mean, I'm calling you, but I'm scared to see you in person. And then from my rear view mirror, I can see someone right behind me in
Hmm.
a beautiful light image. And I was like, oh my God, there are two of them. I am definitely dying.
Yeah.
But that is when the whole transitioning moment happened. I saw something fly in front of me, and I started to feel a deep sense of peace. Even now, when I'm talking, I can feel it in my heart, in my body. There was this amazing sense of tranquility and calm that just enveloped me beautifully. And then I reached home and I thought, oh, I've met a friendly ghost called as Casper. You remember the movie Casper?
Yeah,
Friendly
I do.
ghost. Oh my God, I met a friendly ghost. And then there was really, I'm not exaggerating, Ashmita, but there was no looking back. I didn't know what I had experienced, but I knew I'd experienced something magical. I did see a master around me. I thought if I'm going to, in my early 20s, if I'm going to tell my friends, I'll probably be put to a doctor saying, she's hallucinating and this is not a normal behavior. What was interesting was post that I started to find articles which only spoke about angels. And that's when I realized that in that most critical emergency moment of my life, I met my angels. Okay. How do I know it was not a figment of my imagination? I was questioning this. Next morning, I did call a mechanic to fix my car. Right. And he did come down and he did check my car. Um, and he called me again. He says, "What's wrong?" I said, there's a dent, there's a chassis which is bent, and there's a leakage and there's a hazard symbol. And he called me after half an hour after a thorough checkup and he says, "There is nothing wrong with your car."
Wow.
This was my turning moment because I knew I had four witnesses. I knew there was a damage. And suddenly there was nothing wrong with my car. It was just fixed. It's very surreal, I do understand. But because it's my personal experience, for me, from a logical left brain person, everything shifted saying, oh my God, this is just phenomenal. And then I started asking for signs, totally. And you can ask me questions around that, and I can probably talk a little bit more. But this was my major turning point where I overcame a car phobia, I met with an accident, and I met my angels and my master. So, yeah, that was my moment and my introduction to the angelic realm. Because until then, I believed angels were good Samaritans, or anybody who's a good human being is an angel. I personally did not know that angels are celestial beings or light beings who are always around us. So this was
Hmm.
my complete flipping point and my deeper connections with angels from this point onwards.
Wow, this is such a beautiful story. Like, I'm getting literal goosebumps. I've read this before, and at that point, also, I got so many goosebumps. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And even when I'm listening to it now, I just feel like there's a different energy as we're speaking, and I can feel it coming through as well with so many, like, so much happening physically, like physical sensations. So happy to hear this story again. And I want to ask you if someone else wants a confirmation about the existence of angels, how can they get one? Because I've been working with angels for a long time, and I think we spoke about this, that you talk about this amazing confirmation that happened for you. I've been
True,
working with angels. I've seen subtle shifts. I've seen how my entire workshop changes, the reaction of my clients or the people around me, my family changes when I call upon angels. I have seen them transform my meditation sessions. I've seen and I've heard them communicate to me through visions, through words, and through ideas. I have seen signs, numbers. I've seen all of that. But still, how can I get that? I know you said that no, not everybody needs to go through that experience
true.
that you went through. Um, but how can we make sure that it's not a figment of our imagination, or how can we get a confirmation about their existence? As you said, with so much conviction that they are celestial beings that exist. So, how can we get that confirmation and conviction for ourselves?
Uh, so 1A, everything starts with belief. They say magic happens to those who believe in it. Similarly, the moment we start understanding that angels exist, so the first step is have that belief, that they are around and they are here to help us. Second is all about intention. So once
Hmm.
you raise an intent that I do wish to connect with my angels, you have already created an energy field of the connection that is bound to happen with you, right? And third, just to answer the question that is it a figment of my imagination? Um, well, the first time when you begin to sense the presence of an angels, and you did mention some of the signs right now, and we can talk a bit more at length around it. But what's important is in that moment, you can literally once again tune into your heart and ask the angels, if you are truly around, show me a sign. And
Hmm.
usually, if the angels are around, ask for a validation which is for 3 times. And within 24 to 48 hours, the validation will continue to come through. So, first time, probably you're imagining, second time, you're not too sure. But if a same message is coming to you in 3 different ways, it's for sure a validation from an angel. You're not looking for an answers. What is interesting is the moment we start working with angels, the answer starts coming to you. You don't seek them, you
Hmm.
know. And I love the quote of Rumi when they say that, what you are seeking is seeking you. And this is what really happens. The moment you raise an intention that I want to connect with my angels, the angels are waiting for us to connect with them. They are
Hmm.
literally with us from the time we are born. 2 minimum guardian angels are assigned to us to work with us on our journey of growth.
Hmm.
But I don't know if you want to ask me, then how come everybody's not connecting with their angels?
I was going to ask you just that. So if we all
Right.
have guardian angels, then why isn't everyone connected to them?
Yeah, because the angels work on certain rules and laws. And one of the first law is that until you don't call upon them, they will not come through. So they believe in not meddling around with human beings' free will.
The law of free will, yeah.
Yes, it's the law of free will. However, the moment you ask them or say, you know what, I just want you around and can you just help me? They are just around you, no
Hmm.
matter what. So it's very important to ask for their help the first time and make that connection. That is very important.
But do you also think that the first awareness is from their side, or do they somewhere come into our awareness? Because a lot of people are not even aware that angels exist. So we cannot even talk about the law of free will because they probably don't know what to give their free will for because they don't know
True.
about the existence of such beings.
So let me give you an example. If uh, we're talking about angels, but I am sure that most of us in our daily lives do experience this subtle voice that tells us, don't go right, go left. And when
Yeah.
we really decide to do that, we realize, oh my God, I should have followed that intuition
Yeah.
because, yeah, right? And there are these so many small moments in our life where there is this little voice which tells us, do this way. And if you do this way, this is going to work for you, right? By
Hmm.
and large, even your angels are connecting with you through your intuitive voice. So they are connecting with you. But when you're looking for deeper answers, you're looking for help, it's very important to call upon them. You may not know they're your angels, and that's fine. Because if you go back to my situation, I did not know angels existed.
Hmm.
But what I had done was I had asked for help.
Hmm.
So even if you ask for help to source or divine being or God, whatever you would like to call the higher dimensional beings, you just say, you know what, help me out. Someone up there, help me out is good enough for your angels to come rushing by your side to go ahead and help you. That's because they are always closest to us. The angelic realm is very close to the human realm. And they're just waiting,
Yeah.
like all you have to say is help, and they'll be there. It's your SOS number, so they will be there to guide you in some form of the other, no matter what.
Hmm. And I also feel it's their purpose to support us as well. It's a part of their purpose to be there for us. What do you think
Absolutely.
about
Yes,
that?
yes. Just before we are born, and if you believe in the concept of reincarnation and soul scripts, I'm also a past life regression therapist. And so, before we are born, our soul has written a script as to how it's going to span out in this particular lifetime when we incarnate as a human being. And that is when both your angels are assigned to you to work with you on this journey.
Hmm.
So, therefore, the intuition, therefore, the guidance, therefore, this random help that a lot of time comes through when we are looking for it. Because our angels are here to guide us. But
Right.
again, they may guide you. The decision to implement the guidance is a human being's free will.
Hmm. Absolutely. So I'm going to ask a few questions that people asked me before we got onto this session, but I feel Meenakshi has something to say, so I'll read that. So Meenakshi
Right.
says, I think when I'm writing something where my passion is, my angels show me the way. Just realize this. Thanks, Shilpa. I will now ask for help from my angels. So that's so amazing that
That's
angels help
beautiful.
you write. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you know that even auto writing is done via angels, where you're guided what to write and how to write, you know. Minakshi, for writing, if ever you want to go deeper, you can call upon Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is phenomenal and works very closely with writers and healers and teachers. So you can invoke Archangel Gabriel as well.
Amazing. So Seshia NLP coach says, do we all have two angels sitting on our shoulders?
That's a figment of our imagination that sit on our shoulders, and we like to believe it so. And again, in NLP, we say it's all about your mind map. Okay, so the way you want to perceive it, they will show themselves to you. But for sure, we have two angels working with us. Are they on our shoulders? Are they around our ears? That is something that we like to believe in, honestly speaking. But they are around us all the time in our energetic field, guiding us, not necessarily sitting on our shoulders. But they do whisper in our ears for sure.
Hmm, that's amazing. So she also asks, how do we connect with our angels? So I think we already spoke about that. It's by giving them our will and just asking for their support. That's the first step towards connecting with angels. Just saying that, hi, I'm here. Please help me. Please support me. Show me the sign. And as she said, show me the sign 3 times for a
Yeah,
confirmation, right? Is there any other
yeah,
way we can connect deeper with them? You said you talked about automatic writing. Any other way?
yeah. So there are so many ways actually, but the most simplest way, because people think that working with angels is a very, it's an absolutely different realm, and that's why I wanted to make it into a simple reality, and that's how even the book came through. That 52 weeks with angels was about your entire journey with angels. How simple it is to call upon angels by just invoking them. The most simplest way is by saying, "Hi, angels, are you around? Can you hear me? Just be with me and guide me." The second way you probably one can do if you like doing little rituals, sit down, meditate, breathe into your heart. Heart chakra is where the angels connect the fastest and the quickest because they are all about unconditional love. So when you
Hmm.
tune into your heart, you very easily connect with your angels. So that's the second way. Sit down, breathe into your heart, and just take 5-10 minutes to meditate. That's good enough to begin with, right? If somebody is very, I was thinking of a Hindi word, halchal, but somebody who is a lot on the move and has a lot of thoughts, for them, I would say it's more important to sit down for a longer period of time and probably go through a guided guardian angel meditation. That would also help a guided meditation, automatic writing. Okay, but that again, it's nice if there is a guide or a coach to help you through it because there is a particular way to do that, and that helps. But
Hmm.
yeah, the easier way is to invoke. If that doesn't happen, meditate, or else go ahead and do a deeper guided guardian angel meditation. And there are many other ways, but that would be a longer journey then, and a deeper connection to build up with time.
Hmm. Amazing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you this. Have you invited your angels in this live session today? Because I have.
Oh, yes, of course I have. I think they invoking them most of the time allows us to speak what is the highest and the best
Hmm.
because we as people step out of the way and we just become pure channels for angels. And I'm sure you also you've been working with angels, so that is how your experience would also be. But I call a team of angels, not just like one or two, a band of angels. I'm like, please be with me, and may all the beings who are showing up also find a ray of hope, a light, or my deepest prayer is that we connect with their own guardian angels.
Amazing. I'm sure these 10, 11 people will. So Sesha also asks, what's been your most beautiful experience with angels?
Wow. There are so many, and you've just caught me off guard. So I'm just thinking which one to really find pick right now. Um, wow. There was this
Hmm.
crazy experience. It goes back with my car. I think there's something to do with my car and angels, okay? And this was another crazy experience. I was working in corporates back then, and I was doing a lot of Bombay, Pune, because we had two offices, one based in Bombay and one based in Pune. And I had to come back from Bombay to Pune, report back to work on Monday morning. And so 4:30 a.m. I started my journey because I had to reach work by at about 8:39. And I'd stayed over the weekend in Mumbai. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take off early morning and drive through the day. What I realized the night before was that the fuel tank was really low. It was on reserve. Okay. And I was like, that's okay. I'm in Bombay City. We have 24 by 7 petrol pumps. And where I live, there is one just down the road, 500 meters down the road. So I'm okay. I'll fill it up in the morning and I'll start my journey to Pune and I'll reach work on time. Um, when angels want you to experience something, there will be certain situations that will be created for you. You see? So I realized that the first petrol pump, which was 500 meters down the road, was shut that day. It is supposed to be a 24 by 7 petrol pump. And I didn't lose my heart. I'm like, that's okay. There's another one just down the alley again. So I started to drive. And interestingly, the second one was also closed. So now there was this panic button in my belly. I was like, what do I really, really do? And I called upon Archangel Michael, who's known to be working with gadgets and cars and electronics and also protecting you most of the time. So I called upon Archangel Michael and I said, what, Archangel Michael, my intention was very pure. So when we work with angels, this is one thing I want to highlight. It is all about your intentions. It's not about flashing off angels. It's about true help from angels, a divine help. So I said, my intention was very pure. I couldn't have gone out in the night. And I have a very critical business need. I don't know how. I just don't know what you're going to do. Either find me a petrol pump or do something, that I somehow reach and just do something. I don't know what you're going to do. And what was very interesting is that my car ran on that reserve tank for 30 to 35 kilometers.
Hmm.
And I really didn't know when will the car stop, what is going to happen. All I did was kept praying. I said, I don't know, do some miracle, do some magic. You have to do something. And I think it was about, I must have crossed from South Mumbai to Goregaon to Vashi. I'm almost reached the first toll naka. And that is where I found the first petrol pump. That's exactly where my car stopped. Trust
Wow.
me, it beats physics, it beats science. How can a car which is already on reserve run so many kilometers? I don't know. We've all tried to work out the math. But again, miracles beats the science. There is no time and space, linearity for angels. So this is one of my fondest memory, okay, with the angels. And lo and behold, I did reach the workplace on time and everything went really, really well. So this was my initial journey with angels. So the belief was only becoming deeper and more deeper. And then it was like, oh, I have my angels with me. I'm not worried. I will be well taken care of. I'm safe and protected. So this is one of my
Mhm.
very, very fond memories. Again, with my car. There's something with car and angels. So, yeah.
That is so amazing, and I feel so safe and so protected whenever I call upon Archangel Michael. He's the angel of protection, if you guys don't know. And whenever I call upon him, in any situation whatsoever, whether I'm alone on the street, whether I'm going out late at night, I always make sure that I ask for him. Even when I have some bad thoughts, we all, as human beings, we all have some very fearful thoughts. So I always ask angels to cancel, clear, and delete those thoughts from my energetic field. And that really gives me um, of the feeling of safety, because it feels like I'm always safe, I'm always taken care of. I also don't need to be afraid of my super fearful thoughts, because angels can cancel, clear, and delete them. And since the time I have been able to experience them, my life has completely shifted and changed in so many beautiful ways that I can't even tell you. And I'm so happy to hear this story, because it has happened with me a lot of times as well, where in situations, in emergency situations, when I've called upon Michael and I've seen that nothing wrong happened, like everything happened so perfectly, went so smoothly. And again, I felt goosebumps when you shared that story. So, yes, so let's move on to Minakshi. Minakshi says, do we need to know specific archangel names to call for help? If so, how do we read up or know more about them?
Interesting. Um, well, it's not necessary to know specific archangels because angels are just out there to help us. So even if you, like I said, if you just work on something as simple as angel of protection, archangel of health, archangel of finance, if we just say that, they are still going to connect with us, you know, because names are something that we human beings connect more deeply with. Having said that, there are amazing books out there. And in fact, even in my book, I have mentioned about 21 archangels. And you can read up on that. There's a very brief para of each archangel. And most commonly, there are plenty many archangels, but I have chosen about 21 archangels in the book. And also what their name means, what is their aura, and when do you really, really invoke them. So, and of course, there is a lot of information out there on angels and beautiful information. But one thing I'm going to invite each one of you when we connect with angels or archangels, always ask your heart, is it connecting with you? Is this information? So learn to discern the information. Is this information resonating with me? That is extremely important to keep a tab on. So yes,
Hmm.
Meenakshi, Living with Angels has information on archangels. There are specific archangels. However, it's the intention that matters. If you say something as simple as angel of writing, angel of healing, they're still going to work with us.
Great. And could you please tell them where can they get the book from?
Uh, Living with Angels is for people in India. They can have the ebook version, the Kindle version that's available on Kindle. The hardcover is actually available only with me right now. So you can write into me. But people are not from India, US, UK, the hardcover as well as the book, both are available on Amazon, the Kindle and the copy, both. So they can definitely pre-order the copy and it'll be delivered to them. It's just there is a challenge with Amazon India, so people need to write into. Yeah.
Great. So, yes, go ahead, go to Amazon. I have the Kindle version of Living with Angels. So, if you guys also want to read up on angels and follow the 52-week journey, please go ahead. It's a beautiful book. It's a magical book instead, in fact, because it consists of so much knowledge and wisdom and process step by step. Everything is given. You wouldn't need to look elsewhere if you want to get to know and work with angels. So Jyoti asks, can we ask for guidance every day from angels?
Yes. Yes, we can. You know, we start a car, we put a GPS on, right? And we say, you know, take me from direction A to direction B. So angels are also our GPS in a way, what I call is a God planned soul, right? So
Hmm.
when you wake up in the morning, just ask your angels to give you a guidance or tell them uh, if you have a specific request, you can even request them to take care of it for you. So a lot of times when I have a lot of appointments and I feel a little overwhelmed, I actually tell my angels, this is my appointments for the day. If you think I'm supposed to serve each one of them, make it happen. But if there is a space and a bandwidth, then do something magical about that. So I literally give away my entire morning schedule to my angels and they help me take care of that. Um, Jyoti, the other way to work with angels and ask for guidance is through oracle card reading. And
Hmm.
for that also you can follow me because I actually do daily guidance on Insta.
Yeah, I follow her every morning. So please
Yep.
go ahead and follow her. And she picks a card every day, reads up a message for the day. And I do listen to her, and that becomes my GPS, my guiding light. I'm excited to go on and see her live video. So yeah, please do that. And let's talk about automatic writing. Rishita asks, what's automatic writing? Yeah.
So automatic writing, if I had to put it in a very simple way, is when you are channeling angels. Okay, so you enter into a certain frame of mind with certain prayers and protective field. That's very important to really be mindful of, right? You invoke your angels and you ask them a specific question, or you ask them to talk to you. And that is when, most of the time, when we are doing automatic writing, our non-dominant hand is in which we take a pen and pencil and we are guided, and you will feel a sense of pressure where your angels are guiding you to write. But I'm going to say that be mindful when you're practicing automatic writing. It's nice to have a coach or a guide to guide you, because there are certain prayers and there is a certain energy field that needs to be created. So yes,
Absolutely, because you need to protect yourself since you're opening up to another dimension.
that's
And
true.
can
And
you
you
also
want to
like,
know that, sorry, please
yeah, yeah,
continue.
go ahead, go ahead.
Because we want to know that we are truly connecting with our angels. And that's very important to be mindful of when you're opening yourself to many, many other dimensions. Sorry, you wanted to add
Absolutely.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think protection and cleansing is one of the tools that are essential when you're working with angels. Cleansing your energy first and then evoking protection. That has been one of my greatest lessons, to learn that for everything that I do on a day-to-day basis. I first cleanse my energy and then evoke protection. Would you like to add on something to that if people want to work with angels?
for automatic writing or working with
Generally,
angels.
generally.
Um, well, in the book, we've spoken a lot about how do you work with angels on daily basis, from shielding to cleansing to prayers, So there is a step-by-step process, but it's damn, like you keep, I like the way you continuously you spoke about protection. It's damn important to protect yourself when you start your day. Just the way you wear your sunscreen, you call upon your angels to take care of you energy field. Even if you start with that, it's enough and more to begin to connect with your angels. And then you slowly, your angels will guide you. Like somebody asked earlier, can we ask for guidance? The angels will guide you how to behave, what to do, and what not to do. How would you know that it's an angelic message and not the message coming from your mind? Yeah, because we do have inner voice, but we also have our own experiences and persona, and we sometimes cannot discern the difference. One of the key way to understand that it's a message from an angel, angelic messages are always loving, kind, and compassionate. That's one of
Absolutely.
the biggest way to understand that the angels are communicating. Why I'm speaking about it specifically, because I've had people who said, that, oh, I connected with my angel today, and my angel told me I'm supposed to be rude with so and so person.
That's
Yeah.
not possible.
Exactly, that's not possible. We need to be aware that our angels are not going to ask us to harm anyone or hurt anyone. Their messages are always kind. They'll probably tell you, build a wall, take a break. That's all right. But they will not ask you to hurt or harm someone. Those are never angelic messages. We need to be very mindful of.
So, this is something that's coming from my journey when I started working with angels. Yes, there was a fear that what if I connect with lower vibrational beings? So, how do we make sure that the fear doesn't stop us from connecting with the angelic dimension?
One is please shield yourself and triple shield yourself. Second is your intention. You do raise this intention that, I am connecting with the higher beings of light. Third, connecting with angels has to have a purpose of serving.
Hmm.
So each time you think of serving someone, serving your life purpose, serving for the higher good, serving humanity, you will be able to by default connect with higher dimensional beings. So the intention has to be filled with kindness, compassion, and the deeper need to serve back, give back.
Beautiful. So here I'm going to ask you a question which Dhanu asked. She said that she sees a lot of numbers, repetitive numbers, 11, 11, 2, 2, 2, 2. So how, when you see those numbers or catch those numbers, yes, of course, they are messages from your angels, but how do you
True.
learn what they mean?
Yeah, beautiful question, actually. Very beautiful question. Because one, congratulations for seeing repetitive numbers. Your angels are being loud and clear, and they're constantly talking back to you. So, congratulations for that, first of all. Second, every number has a meaning behind it, right? So, let me just take an example of 11111. It's the most common number that people have been witnessing a lot in the recent past. One, you're moving through a spiritual awakening. Two, you're going through alignment processes in your life. But third, let me first explain to you what does this number mean, and then I'll take you a step backwards. Okay? Uh, what 1111 means is that what I personally call is that you are in a tathastu moment, which means whatever you think will come true. Universe is saying that your wish will be manifested. So it is a so be it moment, which is 11111. Now, because whatever you wish can come true, be mindful of your thoughts. Are you thinking a happy thought or a not so happy thought? Right? So that is very important to be mindful of. Second, the moment you see a number, literally pause and ask yourself, catch your thought. What was I thinking to see this repetitive number right now? Because that is an answer to the thought, is why the number has come up to you suddenly,
Hmm.
right? So that is very important to identify what was I thinking, or is there something I asked in the morning and now the entire day I'm seeing a repetitive message through repetitive numbers, number plates, signs, watch clocks, whatever it is. So then you go back and reflect what was my thought or a question to angels that I am now seeing these repetitive numbers.
Hmm.
So that is the
Beautiful.
other way to look at it. Yes.
Amazing. So are these numbers also like a signal of what frequency we are catching right now? Just something that I
I do.
wanted to ask randomly.
No, I didn't get your question. I'm sorry.
Okay, so for example, when we tune into the radio, we tune into certain frequency,
Right.
104.8 and 104. So are the numbers a way that angels are communicating to us the frequency we have touched upon? For example, you said when we see 111, it's mostly 1111. It's mostly about the frequency that whatever we put out is going to manifest. And I
True.
think 3333 is about ascended masters, that an ascended master is close to you.
True.
So do you feel that it's like a radio we have tuned into when we see that number?
In a way, I would say yes. It's a very new question, to be very honest. But if I had to just look at it as packets of information, yes, packets of information are coming through these series of numbers. So they are asking you to match up to that vibrational field. So now that I think of your question, yes, we are tuning into a certain frequency when you are seeing these repetitive numbers. Like for me, recently, a number that's been going on for I don't know how long has been 55555.
Hmm.
So that's all about transition, transformation,
Change.
magic, change, movement in my life. And I am experiencing a lot of change. You see? So two things are happening. One, they're telling me that whether you like it or not, change is happening. So embrace it because we are with you right now.
Hmm.
And if I'm accepting it, they're saying good for you because this transformation was meant for you right
Yeah, amazing.
now. So yeah, you're
So
right.
yeah, that just came up. I didn't know if that was correct, but I just wanted to say it. So Manvi asks, how can we make a decision with the help of angels?
By asking them.
So if you're
and then
confused
looking for
about,
a validation,
okay.
right? But one of the most, I'm finding the right word, however, one of the best ways to ask the angels is if this path, let's say you're at a crossroad, right?
Hmm.
You want to choose A or B. Ask the angels, what is the highest and best for me? And you will be guided. One of the other ways the angels communicate back with you is through dreams. You'll probably start getting a lot of answers in your dreams as well, right?
Hmm.
Second, numbers. Third, suddenly a feather will show up.
Hmm.
Fourth, the option you were thinking of, somebody somewhere is already talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Fifth, you've just tuned into the radio and the same line is being used back. And you just wonder who's talking to you. So there are plenty many ways to connect with you. I've given 4 to 5 ways right now. So yes, you can ask the angels to help you find a clarity, okay, when you're at a crossroads. But the key word is ask, what is the highest and best for all involved, including me?
Hmm.
And then have patience, the answers will unfold itself to you. Sometimes they come instantly in the form of a thought,
Hmm.
idea, a feeling, or sometimes it will take 24 to 48 hours because the angels are waiting for certain answers to unfold. Um,
Hmm.
the most important bedrock for asking this and to understand this as a foundation or a law, as I call this, angels will tell you not that which you want to know, but that which you need to know. So you may want to know a lot of things. However, that is not a part of your soul plan that it needs to be unfolded now. So they will only give you a packet of information that time because that is all that you need to know right now and take action upon. So a lot of times they're only going to give you small answers so that you take that step forward for a bigger pathway to open up for you. So they will always tell you that which you need to know, not that which you want to know.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's just see if there are any more questions before we come to an
sure.
end, because we've talked about a lot today. So Manvi says, sometimes I feel very frustrated and insecure about my future. So how can angels guide me in this? Which I feel she means that whenever you're feeling uncertain or yeah, uncertain about the future, how can you receive support from angels?
One thing angels teach us to be in the now.
Hmm.
Anxiety comes in when we are really thinking about future. But if you did ask the angels, what is the best step I can take today? Invariably, if you follow, it will guide you to your future. Second, feel the cocoon of angels around you when you're feeling very anxious because they know what is the path for you. So to have that kind of trust and faith that, I do trust the process of life and I trust that my angels will guide me for the highest and best and only good is unfolding before me. These are some of the affirmations you can use for yourself, you know, and you can move forward in that. And what is very interesting is that, yes, as humans, fears do come in. It's very natural. But as we begin to work with angels, there is a subtle change that you will begin to experience that the fear is gradually walking out of the window and faith is beginning to take over.
Hmm.
And very beautifully, Ashmita mentioned that each time a fear comes in, what is very beautiful is to say cancel, clear, delete, and ask your angels to replace it with a positive thought or a positive energy feeling for you. They are very good at giving you energetic hugs. So ask them to help you with that.
Hmm. That's amazing. Okay. So
I hope
last
it
question.
answers the question and she's feeling
Yes,
okay with it.
yes, please let us know, Manvi. And if you guys have any other question, you can ask right now. Right now is the time. And yes, so Jyoti asked this very beautiful question, which is how can we use angels' support to become a better version of ourselves?
I just answered that ask for the highest and the best version of yourself. You know, it's
Okay.
a very, very important keyword that so please call upon angels when you're feeling. So other way is, that we also tend to judge ourselves a lot.
Hmm.
It's human, right? We
Yeah.
condemn, criticize ourselves and others. When angels walk into your life, you begin to realize that they love you unconditionally without judging you. So when we start invoking them, we start embracing those qualities within ourselves one by one, one by one. So just the
Hmm.
fact that you're connecting with your angels, you're walking the path of light. Obviously, if you are aligned and you implement the advices that's coming to you. It's not just about being aware, it's also about acting upon the suggestions and the guidance that angels give you. So if your intention itself right now is that I want to be a better version, bravo, you're on the right path. Angels are already beginning to guide you. All you need to do is take a few minutes of silence, tune in, and you will get your guidance.
Beautiful. So Mami says thank you. Shalini says this is so beautiful. And Jyoti says thank
Mm,
you for the session. Thanks, coach, and thank you, ma'am. I seek guidance from our angels for each one of you. Okay, great. Thank you.
that's
Uh,
very sweet. Thank you so much.
yes. And Sudha Nair says shine brighter. So let's shine brighter.
Let's do that. Thank you,
Anything
Sudha.
else you want? Is there anything else you want to add before we end this session? Anything that people, any message that you want to give to all of those who are watching or who will watch the replay?
Yeah, my favorite again, that there is magic in the air and there are angels everywhere.
So
And magic and
beautiful.
angels happens to all of us who believe in it. And even if you don't believe in it, they are with you. So just give it a try. Just give it a try.
Just give it a try. And I loved what you spoke about this morning, which is I am magic and I expect miracles.
True.
So really, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and say I'm magic and I expect miracles.
And
That's
let
such a
me know how it
beautiful.
works. You know, it turned me around. Really, it did. I would just wake up and say, "Oh, there was a time I thought world is a bad place, and I was very sulky, and suddenly I had shifted when angels came, and I'm like, oh, world is beautiful, and I'm going to experience magic." And I started to really experience magic. Like now, when I wake up, I'll have a neighbor or a friend or a colleague calling and say, "You know what? I just experienced magic. Thank you so much. Thank you for introducing me to angels because I have begun to experience magic." Something really shift when you make such a powerful affirmation that you yourself are magic and you deserve all kind of miracles.
Beautiful. So Devanshu said, funnily, ma'am, are you also an angel? You're
I think I'm still
beautiful.
a human in incarnated form. I can't see the wings yet, you see. No, Raja. I'm
Okay,
just
so
a
let's,
simple human being.
yes, amazing. Um, so let's end this session with a beautiful affirmation. I am magic and I expect miracles, right?
Let's do this together, okay? Yeah?
I am,
I
okay,
am magic.
okay, let's start again.
On three, okay? So
I
I
am
am
magic and I
magic and I
expect
expect
miracles.
miracles. And I
Yes,
call upon angels. Yoo-hoo!
I do. And please, everyone who's joining us and watching this, you can also say the same. This is a beautiful time to invite angels, and
Yes.
as she said, that they can only come in when you give them your free will too. So just ask.
Yeah.
So
All you have to do is ask.
yeah. So they're all saying I'm magic and I expect miracles. Beautiful. Thank
Yay,
you.
I love you all. Thank you so much for trying that. And one last thing, angels love childlike curiosity. So when you're seeing both of us so bubbly, is because angels really love a sense of wonder and childlike curiosity. They're with us. We don't have to be super serious. If that's your personality, great. But it's okay to be childlike because they just love us when we are very curious all the time. And they work with us more deeply. That's why we say children experience angels and fairies much more than adults do. So bring back that childlike curiosity and bring that inner child and play along. Just play along. Yeah, I feel complete. How about you?
you. And Manvi says that please do one more session. So on that note, we are going to plan another session very soon. What do you
Sure.
say?
Done.
Yeah.
I'm ready in divine timing. Yes, I'm ready for it. I'm totally ready for it. Thank you so
So
much. I'm glad you liked it.
yes, thank you guys for watching and interacting in this session. This was such a beautiful session. I think one of the best I've experienced. So thank you, Shilpa, for joining in. You can actually go ahead and read her book, buy it from Amazon, the Kindle version. It's called Living with Angels. It has all the information about angels. Yes, that's right behind her. And she's co-authored another book called The Coach Wisdom. So go ahead and look that up as well. But most importantly, follow her on Instagram if you haven't been doing that yet. So, yeah, I'll see you guys soon and thank you for joining in. It was a pleasure having you. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.